The Pittsburgh Steelers are coming off an extremely underrated season in 2022, finishing the year with the record of 9-8. But we're showing so many flashes of great potential. The Steelers front office took this team to a whole different level this offseason, making them so much more dynamic, adding multiple day one starters to not only this already stacked defense, but more importantly, the underwhelming offense from last season just added so many more starters that could make this team so much better going into next year. And quite frankly, it seems like the Steelers might have won the entire offseason, or at least are one of the top. Last year, the Steelers' offensive line was pretty terrible for the most part. However, right from the jump, they made it a priority to go and add difference makers, and they did just that. They also added Allen Robinson, who looked phenomenal throughout camp so far. They also drafted a huge playmaker in Darnell Washington, and it's clear the Steelers had high hopes for this squad heading into next season, and man, are they showing it throughout the preseason. Pittsburgh is coming off a huge showing versus the Buffalo Bills in their most recent preseason game, and we have a lot to talk about in this video. Now, in the video, I will be breaking down the emergence of a couple of guys on this team, but more importantly, why I think the Steelers can absolutely shock the world next season and potentially even make some noise in the playoffs. However, before we jump into the video, I need you guys to do me a huge favor and smash the like button if you haven't already done so. Not only does it help out my channel so much, but we can get out to more Steelers fans. So let's see if we can get the video up to 500 likes. I know you guys can do it. You guys are one of the best fan bases in all of football. So let's see if you guys can do it in this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm going to be covering the Steelers all off season long, as well as a ton of other teams as well. So make sure you guys join the family. Turn on post notifications. I'm also going to be live streaming games every single Sunday. So if you want to watch some football with me throughout the season, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we go live for a game and every time we post a video. And lastly, if you play fantasy football but hate being stressed about roster management, start sits, you need to check out Underdog Fantasy. Link is in the description. Use my code. They'll double your deposit. And if you want to join some leagues with me, comment down below right now and tell me you either have it or signed up, and I'll get you in my leagues for the entirety of the NFL season. But without any further ado, let's jump right into today's video. Now, over what seems like the past decade, the Steelers have had one of the most lethal defenses in all of football, and they just continue dominating on that side of the ball. Now, so coming into the offseason, they wanted to find a way to make this offense completely explosive, and I think they might have found exactly how to do that. I know it's just 2 games, preseason games at that, but still, there are signs that second-year quarterback Kenny Pickett is ready to take that leap, ready to take this team and turn them into a terrifying offensive team as well as a defensive team. Now, the key to a great offense is the quarterback, and you can tell Kenny Pickett took this offseason insanely seriously and has came back stronger, smarter, more patient, but more importantly, he came back a leader. There's been reports out of camp that he's completely turned a new leaf and has been acting like a veteran on the field and even in the locker room as well. Honestly, Kenny Pickett isn't the only guy emerging from this team. There's been so many, including a guy like Jaylen Warren, who is another guy who seems to be, much improved coming into the season, and he showcased exactly that versus Buffalo this week. When he took his first touch, 62 yards for a touchdown, and he was pretty much untouched throughout that play. Athletic freak of nature who adds a whole new dynamic to this running back room. Then boom, next drive, 25-yard touchdown, strike from Kenny Pickett to Pat Freiermuth, and the Steelers were breezing by the great Buffalo Bills and their defense. Now, listen to this stat, guys. This is something I found out, and this is extremely crazy when you sit back and actually think about it for a second. Now, last season, the Steelers had scored 1 offensive touchdown outside of 25 yards out. Just 1, all of last season. This preseason, they have 4. 3 of those coming from Kenny Pickett, and we've only played in 2 games. Yes, I know it is preseason, but that is a sign of improvement, progress. That is insane. And again, I know I'm saying it a lot. It is just preseason, but this is very, very good for the potential, the future of this team going forward. And we can sit here and talk about how great George Pickens and Allen Robinson and Deontay Johnson are going to be all season long. We could talk about those guys are going to be amazing. We know that. However, Calvin Austin is a name to look out for. Another athletic freak with insane speed and the ability to take the top off the defense at any moment. I think he'll be someone who has a sneaky good season. And if you are a Steelers fan and you've been watching them over the past couple of weeks during training camp and preseason, you know about Calvin Austin. He has been electric, not only as a receiver, but as a return man as well. I think he brought back or had one punt return in this game for like 50-something yards. Let me double check, just so I'm not telling you guys misinformation. But he did have one punt return for 54 yards, which is just, he's going to be electric. Now, with that being said, this offense looks amazing so far in preseason, especially versus Buffalo this week. All three quarterbacks looked pretty good. They didn't get, a crazy amount of playing time. But Kenny Pickett, 3 of 4, 43 yards and a touchdown. Had a rating of 149. Mason Rudolph came in, 5 of 7, 52 yards. Looked pretty good. Was pretty accurate. Mitch Trubisky comes in the game, 10 of 13, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Overall, these guys were just phenomenal in terms of efficiency rating, and I think they're only going to continue to get better, continue to just be a solid team with all of these quarterbacks here playing at a nice low level. And then we move to the defensive side of the ball, and this team was absolutely lights out versus Josh Allen and the whole Buffalo Bills offense all day long, holding the Bills QBs to a combined 26 of 37, 267 yards, 1 touchdown, but 3 interceptions. They had 3 interceptions, and the guys who got these interceptions have been guys who have been standing out pretty much all offseason long. Joey Porter Jr., the rookie standout, who's been really good in camp so far, has had his struggles. He's a rookie, so going to see that every now and then. He looked good. Chandon Sullivan, a guy who they signed mid-draft, I think in the 4th or 5th round, they signed him to a deal, and he's trying to be their starting slot corner, but he does have a lot of competition because another guy who got an interception, Elijah Riley, another slot corner who looked really good to start camp, he got an interception. So 3 interceptions. Joey Porter Jr., Chandon Sullivan, Elijah Riley looked absolutely incredible, getting some interceptions during the day, and those were some bright spots. But not only are those guys really looking good, but they have so many people just looking insane. I feel like everybody in the world knows how good the Steelers defense really is, but seeing the amount of depth that they have is incredible. And this team breeds defensive stars. We can just see that. I mean, like I said, Elijah Riley had a good day. He's coming out of nowhere, trying to earn a starting job. You have Nick Herbig, who is someone they drafted who's been absolutely incredible. Had a sack, a tackle for a loss, a pass deflection. A guy, Nick Herbig, who can not only get to the quarterback, but he can stop the run, and he can also play a little bit in coverage as well. He's been good. Mark Robinson, the former 7th-round linebacker, was incredible. Pat Pete made a couple of plays. You still have the former Buffalo Bill corner, Levi Wallace. Alex Highsmith just got his extension. That's amazing. And then you go even further down, Quan Alexander might be one of the most underrated pickups of the entire offseason. I mean, he's came in and showcased what he can do from day one. He looked amazing. So, everywhere I look, Chandon Sullivan, Joey Porter Jr., across the whole entire defense of this team, Larry Ojanobi, Keanu Benton, TJ Watt, Landon Roberts, Quan Alexander, Cole Holcomb. Everywhere you look, there are guys who make plays. They're going to be difference makers. They're going to stand out, and they're going to make this defense, again, one of the most lethal defenses in all of football. Guys, I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Join the family. Turn on post notifications. I will be covering everything you guys need to know from here on out. But I need you guys to also comment down below one player you think can absolutely break out here for the Pittsburgh Steelers next season. For me, I think it is Calvin Austin. I don't know if he'll play all 3 downs. I don't think that's going to happen with the amount of wide receiver depth that they have right now. And their starting 3 guys are so good. But I think when he's on the field, I think he'll be an amazing threat, a big-time threat. I think he's going to take the top of the defense at times, but also make sure the defense is on their toes. And, they're going to have a safety deep. And if they don't, watch out, because he could get a touchdown on any play. So let me know who you guys think of breakout. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.